Hey guys, I'm back with another gardening update. I told you guys about the seeds that I ordered from the okra lady. One of the seeds was the peaches and cream corn, and I was going to start those the same time that I started my seeds indoors that were going to be transplanted outside for the spring. But then when I read her instructions, it said to direct sow those, and I wanted to try a grow bag. So I didn't plant those at the same time that I did the other seeds that are inside and going to be transplanted later. I waited, and I also did not have a specific grow bag, but I'm turning a bag that I got. I think I got it like at the outlet mall. They were giving them away with some things in them, and they're like those reusable shopping bags, but it's not fully cloth, but very durable. I think I used it once, and I washed it once and it held up really, really well. But because I don't use it, I thought, hey, will this work as a grow bag? So let me show you what I'm working with. This right here is the shopping bag I'm talking about. And yes, there's some print on it, but I'm not too concerned about that. It's on the outside. This material, not sure what it is. Maybe it's a cotton kind of blend, but my thought was that if this bag can get airflow, which clearly it can, and if water will flow through it, which I'm about to test now, then I can use this as a grow bag. So let's see. I'm just going to shoot, excuse the noise, I'm just going to shoot some water into there and see what happens. So let's see. You see, it's draining out the bottom, the water. So yeah, I think I'm gonna use this as a grow bag for my corn. And that way I can move it around and I don't have to take up a lot of space in the garden. This is kind of a double-edged sword for me though, because one of the things that I also wanted to try out is I like to do companion planting, and I wanted to try out the Three Sisters method, and that meant that I would have to have some corn growing in the ground. So I'm still trying to decide on that, and we'll see. I'll let you guys know if I decide on doing that as well, or if I only do the grow bag. If I so decide that I want to do the Three Sisters method and I put the corn in the ground someplace, probably in the far corner because I'm rotating crops and I can't put okra or cucumber in that corn anymore, then what I will likely do is put tomatoes in that grow bag. Potatoes in that grow bag, because I'm also trying to figure that out too. I don't want to put the potatoes in the ground. I much prefer to have them in a container, like a bucket or that bag. So we got options, and some of the things I have time still to decide on, because there is no starting the seed. I'm just going to direct sow them. So I have a little bit of time, a few more weeks to decide on that. Meanwhile, back in my office, which has clearly become Seedling Central, I do have an update on my single seed challenge, and I do have a verdict on um, greenhousing my seeds. So let's get right into it and take a look at that. All right, you may or may not remember that I started some of my seeds. Well, these are the first seeds that I started. It's been a couple of weeks now, I think, but I would have to look in my journal to know the exact date. I put these those are the tomatoes, cherry tomato and beefsteak tomato, and in a baggie to test them out to see if they would sprout sooner than everything else. Well, they did, with the exception of this eggplant. The eggplant sprouted just fine and really, really quickly without using the greenhouse method. However, everything else, and I had one onion that had started to sprout, but and there it is. I don't know if you can see it through the baggie, but everything else was very slow going. So I decided, okay, I'm going to go ahead and stick everything in the baggie. And what happened was my banana peppers sprouted almost overnight after I stuck them in this baggie. This is supposed to be jalapeno peppers, and they are not doing anything. They may not be viable because I saved them quite some time ago. And again, just like my mystery peppers on the other side, which we'll get to in a minute, they um, may or may not have been what they were supposed to be. And I wasn't real serious about saving my seeds back then. Now, this is an acorn squash back here, and that was an experiment too. But it almost came up overnight as well once I stuck it in this little bag. Now, why did I use baggies instead of, say, like one of those little greenhouse kits? I'm huge on reusing as much as I possibly can. Really quickly, these are yellow bell peppers. And this is an experiment as well because it was a yellow bell that I got at the grocery store and I just saved the seeds. So we're going to see what that does. The green bells still aren't doing much of anything. So back to what I was saying about the baggies, I am huge on reusing as much as I possibly can. You can see there's a tag on here, it says extra small. Tag on this one says extra small. I had some t-shirts that came in those bags. And rather than try to get some specialized equipment to do this greenhouse method, or, I saw another YouTuber use jugs. Well, we don't buy milk in big jugs like that. And we don't have water bottles. We don't buy those things. We have very little plastic in the house. So that was not something that was really an option for me. And I was not going to go out and spend a lot of money on some specialized equipment for planting. So I just used baggies that I had used for other things. Obviously not for meat, but I had used them for other things, and I reused them to cover these plants. Here's one more thing that I just want to share with you guys, and this is about single seed challenge. So over here in this other window, I have my mystery pepper, which I did not cover, but I ran pretty much the same experiment. I have chocolate bell peppers over here. This is the chocolate bell pepper in the front, and that's the chocolate bell pepper in the back. And then I have rainbow tomatoes. This is a rainbow tomato, and this is a rainbow tomato back in the back. Now, I chose this particular rainbow tomato because in the packet there were, there's several different varieties of tomatoes. And so by picking one of those seeds, I don't know which variety I'm going to get, which is a big part of the fun. So that's why I chose that as my single seed challenge. Um, Excuse my hand there, I'm sorry. So the interesting thing about this experiment where I baggied one of each and left the other two out, is that the one that wasn't baggied, the one where I'm not using the greenhouse method, actually sprouted first, unlike the seedlings on the other side. So that's very interesting. So I'm kind of still on the fence about the greenhouse method, even though the other seedlings that I planted, clearly they came up really quickly. They sprouted really quickly using that greenhouse method. So I don't know. It's just, I don't know what it is. This room gets a lot of light and it's really warm. You can see it's very, very, very bright in here. I have no lights on and it's the middle of the day and it's really, really warm. Like you see that sun is directly on the plant. So it's warm right here. Um, so I do think that the grid works and that it helps things to sprout because it does keep some humidity in there, and I believe that that helps, um, especially when you're anxious to see those seedlings sprout and start doing something. So I am glad I did it, and I probably would do it again. So there you have it. That's an update on my single seed challenge and an update on all of the seedlings that I started so far. And I'm so excited. I'm so anxious. I can't wait to get out in the garden. And it's a beautiful day today. It's supposed to be 70 degrees and it's nice and sunny. So I'm going to at least get out there and see what else I can plant. I think there's some things that I can start to plant right now. And I think I might try to sneak in some extra turnips before the season is up. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm taking the whole week off because it's a milestone birthday for me this week. So I'm going to do the things that I love, eat the food that I love, hang out with my family, and not work, or at least try not to work anymore. I've gotten caught already twice this week. But I'm going to try to spend some time out in the garden and just have some fun, you guys. And I will bring you more updates as I have them. For now, thanks for watching. Like this video if you actually like the video. I would really, really appreciate it. And let me know in the comments what you think about any of the seeds that I've talked about, the seedlings that I've talked about, the greenhouse, your thoughts on the greenhouse method. And if you reuse anything in your garden, I would love to hear about some of the techniques that you use. Anyway, until next time, you guys, thanks for watching. Bye.